Alright everyone, today's video was requested by Tintswalo Ntuli said I must do cubic functions. But Tintswalo was not specific as to what is it that I must focus on when doing the cubic function. So then I decided that I can just find the equation. In this case, the first question, it says determine the equation of g of x. So the equation of g of x is given by ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, where a cannot be equal to 0, because if a is equal to 0, therefore the whole term here is equal to 0, and now the function will change to be a parabola. Instead of being a cubic function, it will change to be a quadratic function. Alright, now let me talk about d. D is called the constant term and is also called the y-intercept of the function. Therefore, the value of d, we can just see it from the graph right here, since it's the y-intercept. So the value of d is negative what? Negative 8. That y-intercept is 0 is to negative 8. Now we need to determine the function of g of x. If g passes through these points, we have got negative 2 is to 0, negative 1 is to 0, 4 is to 0, and the y-intercept, which is 0, is to negative 8. But there is something that I have to highlight first here, so that you guys, you know exactly what is happening. If the value of a is greater than 0, the function will look exactly like the one that we are having here. The shape of the function will look like this one. But if the value of a is less than 0, the function will start like this, and then it goes like this, and then it goes like that. That is going to be the function. So you can see that these two functions are not the same. This one, it is having a positive a value, and therefore the shape looks like this. And then the other one that is having a negative a value, the shape will look like this. Now there is something that I have to talk about here. Do you see there is a point somewhere there and a point right here? This one is called the local maximum. This one is called the local minimum. All right. And right here we will have a point of reflection. We will have a point of reflection there. So let's just go ahead and find the equation. This is the function that we're having for g of x. If it was factorized, it was going to give us this g of x, the one that I'm having on the left hand side. So now, because it has not been factorized, we were given it like this. But all in all, what they want us to find is the value of a. We need to find a, b, c, and what? And d. All right. So let's just go ahead and do that. We are given the points there. The first point that we are given is negative 2 is to 0. We are given negative 1 is to 0. We are given 4 is to 0. These are the x-intercepts. And then the last one is 0 is to negative 8, which is the y-intercept. So now what we can do, we take this point, x value, we substitute them here. Right, x1, x2, x3. These are the y-intercept, okay? So we take them, we substitute them. So we will have g of x, which we can write as y if we like. That is equal to ax minus this one right here, it's negative 2. So if you substitute negative 2 here, this negative and the negative there will multiply to give us positive. So we will have positive 2 like this. Then we have got x minus this right here, we are having negative 1. So if we substitute it, it's going to give us positive 1 right here. And then this one is just positive 4. When we substitute it, we will have negative 4 there, and this is exactly what we are having. So we are left with 1 point. This point is given by the x and the y value, right? So remember, g of x is the same as y, so we will substitute this point. So we will write -2 for the value of y there, because the mission here is to find the value of a. So for x, we are going to write 0 here. X, we're going to write 0. For y, we write -8. So for x, we write 0 plus 2. X, we write 0 plus 1. And then we have got x there, we write 0 minus 4. Now we are having -8 is equal to a. And then when we try to simplify what we have inside the brackets, we will have 2 plus 1 there, and then -4 on the other side. So we have got -8. Now we need to multiply everything that we have inside the brackets here. So that will be 2 multiplied by 1 to give us 2. 2 multiplied by -4, that will give us -8. And we have got a. We divide by -8, the left hand side and the right hand side. And the value that we get for a is equal to 1. Alright, so now we need to take the value of a, we substitute it on this equation. Alright, so we will have y is equal to, for the value of a, we write 1. Then we have got x plus 2. Here we have got x plus 1. And then we have got x minus 4. Alright, so what we have to do now is to multiply out the brackets, and then we simplify and see what we have. So we have got y is equal to, let me first multiply these two brackets together. Ne? So we will have x plus 2, and then x multiplied by x there, that will give me x squared. X multiplied by -4, that gives me -4x. 1 multiplied by x, that gives me x. 1 multiplied by -4, it gives me -4, like that. And then if I simplify that, I will have x plus 2, then x squared minus 3x minus 4. And I simplify it. Now, right now, what I need to do is to take this x, I multiply this bracket. I take 2, I multiply that bracket. It's called the distributive method from grade 10. All right, so we will have y is equal to x multiplied by x squared, that will give me x cubed. X multiplied by -3x, that gives me -3x squared. X multiplied by -4, that gives me -4x. Now 2 multiplied by x squared, that gives me 2x squared. 2 multiplied by -3x, that gives me -6x. 2 multiplied by -4, that gives me -8. And then when I simplify this, I'll get x cubed -3x squared plus 2x squared, that will give me -x squared. -4 minus 6x, that will give me minus 10x, and then I've got minus 8. All right, so now I have got my g of x. All right, my g of x now is equal to x cubed minus x squared minus 10x minus 8. Okay, so now for the value of a, I do have 1 there. For the value of b, I've got -1. For the value of c, I've got -10. For the value of d, I've got -8. So I can write that. I'll have a is equal to what? 1. B is equal to -1. And then c is equal to -10. D is equal to -8. And this is all what we wanted. That is exactly what we wanted. And that's it, guys. That's how you find the equation. That is how you find the cubic equation. And this is not only the way you can use to find the cubic function. There are other ways, but I just decided to use this one. All right, guys. Thank you for your time. Take care.